He runs a website called The Black Bookie, which is very cool. You ought to stop by and check that out. And his slogan is, and I haven't hit this before, I'm going to hit it this time because it's the best one. His slogan is, if you snooze, you lose. And indeed, that is the case. There are only so many money-making opportunities to be had, and he's going to tell you where they all are. It's the one and only Black Bookie. It's Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe, how are you today?
Good afternoon, Cleveland. Welcome to the SnoozeYouLose podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Joe, joined by me, Ron the Don. Happy birthday, champ.
Thank you. I'm not feeling like a champ right now, but that's because of the long weekend.
Well, that's what shots of tequila will do to you.
But you know, I love my tequila.
You are listening to the SnoozeYouLose podcast. Like I said, I'm your host, Uncle Joe, joined by Ron the Don. If you don't know, Ron the Don's job here is two things. One, to bring me beer. And what's this bullshit you brought this week?
It's a Sam Adams cold snap. Made sure there wasn't any corn syrup this time.
That's it. Now you're learning. It's the third episode, but you're finally paying attention to how things work around here. Finally listening to the rules. I appreciate it.
And they call me the beer snob here.
This is a sports betting podcast. The motto will always be win together, lose together. Any pick we give out, we take. We're not like these other scammers out here giving you 9, 10 plays and not taking them. That's not the way to be successful. Here we teach you money management, discipline. You don't need 9 games to be successful. We take them, we give them out, and that's how it rolls. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at The Black Bookie, Instagram at The Black Bookie. Check us out on Facebook, www.facebook.com, obviously. Uncle Joe. We're everywhere you need to be. Anytime you pick up your phone, you can find us. Listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, anywhere you go, you can find us.
So we're all over.
Let's talk about the week we had.
What a week. What a week.
They're not all going to be like that.
But
that's
when
the
we
point.
have weeks like this.
And that's the point. And that's what I want people to understand. They're not all going to be like that. Else we'd all be rich already.
Exactly. But like you said, this is money management. So we're going to have weeks like this where it's going to look great.
We're going to have more weeks like this. Most of them are going to be like this. And that's how it is. This is a system. You got to follow the process, trust the process. It's a system. Wait a minute. You're not wearing Nikes, are you?
No, all Adidas.
Okay. After what happened to Zion, no more Nikes.
Can't trust those being
For now on, only Big Baller brand. We're going to get you some Big Baller brand sneakers. No more Nikes.
I'm partial to the Starberries still. That's me.
You know, I'm a little torn. Obviously, I want him to play.
Mm-hmm.
But if he doesn't, I understand.
Oh, yeah, no,
It's about to be that time. We're hitting tournament time. We're hitting down that stretch. You know, you want him to be there.
But this is a multi-million-dollar man next year. You have to save yourself. You got to look at the big picture. I mean, believe me, I am disappointed anytime he's not on the court.
We all are.
The man
Which is worse? $3,000 to see Zion for 33 seconds, or $3,000 and getting a Maroon 5 concert and 3 points.
Oh, still going with the Maroon 5. They were god awful.
They were okay.
They were god awful.
They were okay.
God awful.
You got Big Boy. Show some respect.
Okay, he wasn't the problem. Maroon 5 was the problem. Let us never forget.
10-4. We had an awesome week. We're going to jump right into it and recap that. Also, don't forget, later on, we're going to get into our Gamblers Anonymous segment. Send your emails, unclejoe@theblackbookie.com. Tell us about a beat you had that broke your heart, pushed you to the edge of the cliff, made you want to give up. We're definitely going to get into that later. So make sure you send your emails there. We will talk about those picks. We go 10-4 this week.
10-4.
We put money in your pockets.
And
we get the wins.
A lot of money this week.
We were real close to 12-2 too.
Oh, I know.
We'll get to that, but we'll take 10-4 every time. Trust the process. We're going to win more than we lose.
Mm-hmm.
Every week's not going to be a winning week. Every month's not going to be a winning month. We will have a winning year. That is the goal. That is the process. Let's start it right off. 2-18. February 18th, the SnoozeYouLose pick was West Virginia. +7 against Kansas State. They lost that game 65-51. I took West Virginia that day. It didn't look like one of Kansas State's best player, Dean Wade, was going to play. It was a game-time decision. He actually did end up playing. He had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. You know, West Virginia was only down 2 at half.
Mm-hmm.
But they got outscored 35-23 in the second half. Kansas State went on a 14-0 run in the second half, and that's really what kind of did it.
So that's a disappointing one. But the Prem one, and our boys, the Blackhawks, doing it for us again.
7-2-1 their last 10 versus Ottawa. They beat Ottawa that day 8-7. By the way, the over in that game hit in like the first period. It was like 5-4 in the first period.
It was crazy to see the score.
Those are the games you love. I hate that.
I love those games.
Those are the games you love. I hate that.
I mean, surprising to see Ottawa scoring so much since they are a bad
that too.
team.
But we are 3-0 the last 3 times we've taken the Blackhawks. We're not gonna. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Do you have a name for those teams that are just giving you all the right vibes? Because I know we have a name for the ones that don't.
Yeah.
But did you
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's it. It's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
They keep winning. Like I said, 7-2-1 their last 10 against Ottawa. They were at home for that matchup. It was the easy winner. So we go 1-1 that day. But we will take it. And shout out to the Blackhawks for keep bringing us the bag because they never disappoint.
They have not disappointed us. They've disappointed their fans a little this year, but not us.
And even still, then you can't be completely mad at them the way they're trying to end things off the right foot. 2-19. The SnoozeYouLose pick, we actually did a 2-team teaser. I like Tuesdays or Thursdays to be like teaser Tuesdays or teaser Thursdays, so I try and do something. It's going to be kind of hard with baseball coming up because you can't really tease baseball with anything. But during like NFL and NBA and college basketball, I like to do a teaser every now and then. So we did a 2-team teaser. We had Bowling Green minus a half a point with UNLV -1. Easy winner. Both of them took care of their business. Bowling Green actually, let me not say easy. They made us sweat a little bit. They scored with 9 seconds left to win that game. Akron was 1-8 on the road, while Bowling Green was 13-1 at home. So we went with the better home team, obviously. And, we had to sweat it out. They didn't get it done till the final buzzer. But we'll take the W every single time. The UNLV one wasn't even close. Wyoming's 6-20 on the year. So that wasn't even close. We took that easily. That game was pretty much won at halftime. And we got
the Bowling Green made us sweat a little.
They made us sweat a little bit, but it happens. Premium pick, we went with Colgate versus Bucknell. And that just shows you the talent we're dealing with here. I want you to find 10 cappers out here that are giving games like Colgate.
Now, when I saw that game out that you picked, Colgate versus Bucknell, how do you look for that?
So part of me was F Bucknell. That because they screwed us last week against Lehigh. So that was part of the reason I went with Colgate. That was actually the majority of the reason I went with Colgate, F Bucknell. But you don't need the primetime games to be successful. You don't need the 8 p.m. game, the main showdown, the rivalry week. There's money to be made all over the place. And it's actually better to stay away from those bigger games because the lines are affected more because more people are taking action on them.
I mean, I know me. I'm the same way. I look at the big games. Those are the ones that I'm drawn to. But here, a game like that in the Patriot League. I mean, come on. I mean, I would never think of it, and then sure enough.
I mean, Colgate was they were on a 4-game winning streak coming into that matchup, and this was also a revenge game. They lost to Bucknell only by 3 in Bucknell, so I thought a revenge game. The hotter team right now won 4 straight. They were at home, and like always, like I said, F Bucknell. So that's how we grabbed the victory. We go 2-0 that day, heading into Wednesday, 2019. SnoozeYouLose pick Xavier +5. We won that one as they actually beat Seton Hall 70-69. That was an interesting matchup, actually. Another revenge game. They lost by 10 in Xavier. With 6:23 in the second half, they go on a 17-2 run. But they still hold on to cover. Seton Hall went on the 17-2 run. So this game was ugly. Man, we had Xavier to cover +5.
+5, yep.
They dominated pretty much the whole matchup. But like I said, with 6:23 left in the second half, a 17-2 run by Hall to make it close. But Xavier revenges that earlier loss in the season by 10 points, and they get the W for us on there.
That leads us into the Prem game for Wednesday. It's San Diego State +8 versus Nevada. That was also a win for us, 65-57 on that one.
So we had Xavier +5, winner. San Diego State +8, winner on a Wednesday where Nevada lost, Duke lost, the Johnnies lost, Louisville lost, Seton Hall lost, LSU lost, Michigan State lost, Nova lost. Out of 8 of those teams I just named, 6 of them were ranked. They all lost on Wednesday.
By the way, surprising to see Nevada so highly ranked. Never think of Nevada.
They can score. They can score. They got two brothers on there. They put up points. But back to the point, 6 out of 8 teams that are ranked lost on Wednesday night. We had nothing to do with it. We gave out 2 winners. No problem. While everybody else was taking the big names, fell for it, took the traps, and got bitten.
See, so you gotta look.
And that's how we show up. That's how we get the job done.
Look for those smaller teams, smaller leagues. There's money there.
I mean, those aren't smaller leagues. I mean, Seton Hall, Xavier, that's not small. It's a big conference. San Diego State, Nevada, like you said, Nevada is highly ranked. But we came out 2-0. Everybody else went down that day. Not us. Nowhere to be found. We stayed away from it, figured things out, studied the trends, know how to win.
I mean,
win together, lose together. That'll all be the motto. You are listening to the Snooze You Lose podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Joe, joined by Ron the Don. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Anchor, anywhere you look and find us. Follow us on Twitter @TheBlackBookie, Instagram @TheBlackBookie. Give us a like on Facebook, Uncle Joe. And most importantly, tell a friend to tell a friend. Because we're out here winning. 10-4. Still keeping going. Let's finish talking about the rest of the week. 221. Snooze You Lose pick. UFC +8 against Cincinnati. UCF comes out.
Winners in...
Lost the game.
But winners in our hearts.
And that's all we care about.
Exactly.
There's no fanhood here. Don't be picking your favorite teams.
Cover.
All it cares about is wins and losses. Don't take your favorite teams. Don't bet with your heart. Don't bet with your emotions, because you could have been somebody that is a UCF fan that took that +5, and you're pissed off right now because they led most of that game and lost, and you didn't get your bread. I don't give a shit if they won or lost. They covered by 5. We get our money. As since he came back in that one, another game too where UCF dominated and led most of the way. But since he went on a tough run with like 2 minutes left.
You know, you bring up something good where it's leave the fanhood at the door.
You have to.
How hard is it to do that though? Especially as maybe some of our audience are new to sports gambling. Like, how hard is that?
It's not hard at all.
It's not hard.
Because you got to put it in perspective. No matter what your favorite team is, your favorite player is, how much money have they ever put in your pocket? Fans are replaceable. Every day another fan is born. A guy has a son, a daughter, a grandson, whatever. Puts them in a jersey, puts them in a hoodie. A fan is replaced every day. Leave the fans are replaceable. Wins and losses. Worry about how to get the money. Leave the fan. Don't bet on your favorite teams. Don't bet with your heart. Don't bet with your emotions. Leave it at the door. It'll only get you hurt.
So a good tip for all our new sports bettors out there.
Premium Rockets money line against the Lakers. This one really chapped my ass. I know LeBron talking about he's activated and he's making the playoff push and the Lakers are going to get in. Big baller brand. 111-106. Houston lost this game. We took the money line. What do I have on this game? Scott Foster, give me a call. You got to owe money. There's somebody you owe money to. There's a problem. Because the Rockets were up 19 in this game. We're up 19 points. They went 20 minutes without a free throw.
Whew.
James Harden is on the court. That's literally impossible.
20 minutes.
And it's the NBA. If you breathe on the guy wrong, you're going to get a foul call.
And yet, somehow, some way, they went 20 minutes without going.
Chris Paul fouled out. James Harden fouled out. Up 19. 20 minutes without a free throw. Scott Foster, give me a call. I want him to pick up his phone right now. Give me a call. Follow me on Twitter. Follow the Instagram. I will help you get out of your debt. But this ain't the way to do it.
Screwing us over. Not the way to do it.
This ain't the way to do it.
And that leads us into Friday. The Snooze You Lose pick on that one. Interesting when I saw this come in. Columbia +7 versus Penn. We won that one. Columbia actually won the game outright.
So. Won the game outright. Went to overtime, won the game outright. I thought that was an easy one. I don't know why a lot of people fell for that. I mean, you got to do your research. The last meeting between these two teams early in the year was only decided by 2 points. Penn, and 2 out of 14 times that they've played Columbia, they've only beat them by double digits. So the last 16 times they played, only twice they beat them by 10 or more. This was going to be a tight matchup. Columbia's 6-2 at the spread. Their last 8 road games against a team with a winning opponent. It was easy pickings. We found that one no problem. They won it outright. They took care of business. I didn't think they were going to completely win the game, but I'll take the money. The +7 they covered, not a problem.
And on that same day, the premium pick going bowling again. Bowling Green moneyline versus Ohio. Unfortunately, we did not get that one.
That one hurt a little bit. They lost that game 92-87. They led by 6 twice in the second half, where I thought that game was going to be put away. Iowa was on a 6-game losing streak, and Bowling Green, you can forget about beating Buffalo. The conference is over for you. You cannot lose to a team up 6 twice in the second half.
Got to put those games away, especially this time of year. You know,
especially a team on a 6-game losing streak. You got to put that away. You got to put that away. You cannot lose to a team on a 6-game losing streak up 6 twice in the second half.
So it's one where we should have, but the team just, again, not doing us any favors. So that leads us to 1-1 for Friday, and going into Saturday. Now a big shiny matchup on the SnoozeYouLose one.
I told everybody last week. This is what we're here for. This is why we're here every Tuesday making your lunch break better. Because we know who the pretenders are. And once again, Tennessee burned a lot of people being frauds, but not us, as we gave out LSU +2, and they won that game by 2 in overtime.
I mean, when you put them in the fraud alert, people got to listen because they showed.
I'm here for a reason. Scott Foster, anybody else out there, I'm here for a reason. We're here to help. Win together, lose together. There's not a play we aren't giving out that we aren't taking together. This is how it gets done. Tennessee is a fraud. They proved it again. They were leading that game, too. They should have put that game away late. They were leading in that game late with like 4 minutes left. Could not put LSU away. And people have to realize, too, if you see a home team getting 2 points, 1.5, something like that on the road, you can't take it. You can't take it.
It's stay away territory.
If Vegas isn't giving you 3 or more, they don't believe in you. We saw it early in the week. Harvard was like a 1.5 favorite on the road against Brown. Got their dicks kicked. It's not going to – it can happen, but 8 out of 10 times it's not going to happen. If you see that team -2, -1.5, pick them, go with the home team, especially in college. College and football. College basketball and football. Go with the home team. Always take the home team. You can't take a team on the road that's a -2.5 favorite, -1.5 favorite. Pick them. 8 out of 10 times, it's going to go the home team's way. So that's just a rule of thumb. Write that down, put it in your notes, and take that with you, because that'll help you in the future without a doubt.
Like you said, you're here for a reason.
That's what we show up for. That's how we show up. When Nevada lost, the Johnnies lost, LSU lost, Michigan State lost, Nova lost, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you avoid those traps.
And that leads us into the premium of that day, a Red River showdown of Oklahoma versus Texas. We had the money line on that one. Won that one 69-67.
69-67. So this is a game, another rule of thumb, and actually perfect timing. This was a game where Texas was without a star player, one of their best offensive players, in Oklahoma, a revenge game for Oklahoma to get revenge losing to Texas early in the year. Started at -4, went up to 4.5. I actually think it started at 3. Started at 3. We got all the way up to 4.5 at game time. I was originally, see, it's this bullshit beer you got me. I was originally going to give out Oklahoma as the free pick. I didn't like the way the line was moving with the points. So I made it the premium, but I gave it out as money line. Mm-hmm. And I want people to understand sometimes you're going to have to lay the chalk a little bit. Oh. Every game, you're not going to be able to take the spread. We're going to learn about that later, actually, too, in the Gamblers Anonymous segment, because I have an email from somebody who got bit by something like that. When the line is a certain way, you have to, because let me ask you, would you rather sit there, and most of the numbers we give out are always for $100 bettors. Obviously, we have $50 bettors, $250 bettors, $500, etc. All the numbers we give out are usually $100 bettors. Would you rather put the 110, because if you take the spread, it's 110 to win 100. Would you rather put the 110 to win 100 and had Oklahoma to win by 4 points, sit there for 2 hours and they win by 2 and not get your bread, or put up the extra $60-$70 and take them 170 and it doesn't matter what the score is long, they win?
I mean,
not all the time, but sometimes you have to lay that chalk. And that's what I want people to understand. It's the same thing with the week we had. Every week is gonna be like this, but they're more than likely they're gonna be like this.
It goes back to a point where we're emphasizing here. It's money management. That's a money management move.
Oklahoma was up big in that game. 15, 16 points. Won by 2. So you would have sat there for 2 hours with your -4 and got nothing.
I got absolutely nothing. So again,
sometimes you have to lay the chalk. Not all the time. Sometimes you're going to have to lay that chalk, lay it out, and take the W. And like I said, at game time, this got all the way up to like 215, 210. That's a little high. I see a lot of I see a lot of cappers out there giving sometimes picks 240, 250, 220. I don't like to really give anything more than 220. I think that's the absolute max. And lately, I haven't given out any of those in a long time. Usually you'll see that more in like baseball season, but we try to avoid that. But the premium clients, have to trust us, lay a little extra chalk. They get the W. That's 2-0 on a Saturday.
Great to start a Saturday. 2-0. And then that leads us into Sunday. Our SnoozeYouLose there was Xavier +6 versus Villanova. We hit that one, 66-54, the final score in that one.
That was a showdown too. It was a good game. I pretty much seen all of that game. Xavier came out and took care of business. There's a stat actually for the matchup. Xavier on the money line, they're at home, and the total is 135 to 139. They are 28-4 since 1996. And it's funny because I saw somebody write, no way Nova loses 3 straight. No way. Hammer it, -5. No way. Max units. No way they lose it. They haven't actually lost 3 straight since 2013. But it happened. And they beat Xavier 5 straight times. That's a team, too, on a 4-game winning streak. How we know that Tennessee is a fraud, that's a team you need to start looking towards, too, in the tournament. They play defense. They can put up some points. I don't know if they're national championship worthy, but that's a team that's going to make some noise in the tournament. Keep your eye on Xavier. They're on a 4-game winning streak right now, especially heading into the tournament. Definitely keep your eye on them because we're probably going to ride them and they're going to help us win some money.
Can't wait for that March Madness season.
Premium pick, Wake +15 against NC State. Just not enough offense in the second half. They actually fall by 20. I didn't think NC State could put up that many points. Wake just kind of didn't get off the bus, really. They just really didn't show up for us. I mean, 20 and 15 is close. They had a chance, but they just really didn't show up for us to get the job done. But it was a close one. I mean, that was one we'll live with. But it would have been great to go 4-0 on the weekend. 10-4 for the week, though. We will take it every chance we get.
And +450.
+450.
That's
+450 for the week.
That is $450 you'd not have in the beginning of the week.
This is what we're here for. This is exactly what we are here for. Follow the Twitter at the Black Bookie. That's the most important place to go. The SnoozeYouLose pick will be there. Tally it up for me real quick. What does SnoozeYouLose pick by itself do this week? While Ron the Don is stat checking that, I want to make sure to let you guys know we're going to pay some bills and shout out to the sponsors real quick. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want you to advertise your podcast. That means you get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. So shout out to the good people at Anchor, taking care of business, helping paying some bills. You are listening to the SnoozeYouLose podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Joe, joined by me, Ron the Don. And what did SnoozeYouLose?
6-1 for the SnoozeYouLose.
Come on, people. Come on.
And that's free. That's on Twitter.
That's the free one. 6-1 for the week. That easy. Even if you don't have the premium, which you would have made even more, even if you don't have the premium, 6-1. It's that simple. Follow the Twitter at the Black Bookie. Hit the Instagram. Check out the Facebook, Uncle Joe. listen to the podcast, you would have been, if you heard last week's episode, you would have been able to avoid the Tennessee letdown in 2 different ways. As I told you, they were frauds, and I also gave you LSU +2. So in 2 different segments, you could have found out to stay away from Tennessee.
Gotta listen to us. Gotta listen to Uncle Joe.
That's what we're here for, this cold snap nonsense. Get into the Gamblers Anonymous segment. We're going to read some emails. So one of them I got was a heartbreaker, was UCLA -2 against Oregon State. Then they won this game 68-67. And that does suck. I mean, they missed a few free throws at the end that could have put it away. But a part of me is like, I don't really feel bad for you. That's just dumb. You can't take a team, if like, what did I just say? If Vegas isn't giving you 3 or more,
stay away.
not even, no, if it's the road team, stay away. If it's the home team, you got to just lay the money line. You got to lay the money line. So that person, once again, sat there for 2 hours and came away with nothing. If you'd have just took the money line, laid a little bit extra talk, he gets the W. Doesn't matter what the score is as long as they win. So that does suck, though, but you got to be better than that. The -2 at home, anything 3 or less, take the money line. Take the money line. Then we have another one here. It was Golden State versus the Rockets, -12, with no James Harden at home. And Golden State actually lost that game 118-112. So, I mean, that's a lot of points, the -12. I probably would have stayed away from that. I get why you would take that with Golden State being at home with no Harden. But this Houston team is good. If they didn't shoot 1 for 59 last time in Game 7, they would have beat Golden State. So, I mean, without Harden, I get it why you would have taken that. That's a lot of points. I would have probably stayed away. But even still, they should have won that game. To lose that game at home without James Harden, that's a tough one. Another email we got was Toledo -3.5 against Eastern Michigan. And, I mean, I'll be honest, it's another one I don't really feel that bad. I don't feel that bad for you. I mean, Eastern Michigan's 10-5 at home. Toledo's 6-4 on the road. Toledo lost that game 76-69, and that was just a MAC matchup where a team came out to play. I mean, I don't feel that bad for you on that one. That's not that heartbreaking. You went with the 1 seed against a 3 seed. I probably would have stayed away from that.
Tough love here on the Black Bookie podcast.
Hey, I'm being honest. I appreciate the emails. Make sure you keep sending them. Uncle Joe at the Black Bookie to get your email read right here on the Gamblers Anonymous segment. I appreciate it all, but I'm just being honest with the people. Win together, lose together. I'm going to be honest with you. And it's just kind of one I might have stayed away from. That person really just kind of went with the team that was ranked 1 versus the team that was ranked 3. But on a Thursday night or Tuesday night when this game happened, anything can happen. And this one I didn't really get emailed, but this one, if you had it, Mississippi State, they won 68-67 over Georgia. The line was -6.5, and they were up 11 at half. They only won that game by 1 point, but if you saw how they won, it was a technical free throw because a fan threw a teddy bear on the court that enabled the kid to shoot the technical free throw, and he won that game 68-67.
Imagine losing out on money because of a thrown teddy bear.
So if you had Georgia, I definitely feel bad for you on that one. That's effed up. There's really no way to sugarcoat that one. That was just kind of messed up.
The teddy bear owes someone money,
That's just kind of how it goes. Anything else to add for the birthday?
I now know, being 800 years old, that can't drink 2-3 straight days in a row now.
I don't think when you were 18 you were good at that either.
Thanks a lot for that one. Always.
Make sure you follow Ron the Don at Twitter. He's going to be doing his beer reviews. All the best beers he's going to tell you to drink, like this Cold Snap and everything else. He's going to be giving you your reviews, so make sure you follow Ron the Don. Episode 3.
Are you excited for any matchups this week that you're really looking forward to?
I don't look that far ahead.
Okay.
I try not to because that's how you get caught up. And the lines, change so much. I try not to look that far ahead, one day at a time. That's the key to, I think, anything in life. Take it one step at a time, one day at a time. I probably am going to ride with LeBron tomorrow. He's playing Memphis. He's activated. Even though, Scott Forster, you have my number. You have my email because you definitely blew that game. There's no way James Harden should go 20 minutes without a free throw.
I mean, if he had us this week, we could have helped him.
I could help get up. Yeah, I know he's in debt. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for it. How a team could blow a 19-point lead and they don't get a free throw for 20 minutes. So, Scott Forster, you got my number. Everybody else out there, you got my number. You know where to find us. The Snooze You Lose podcast, episode 3, rocking and rolling, 10-4 week. Wednesday, I was most impressed by Wednesday. I mean, that day when 6 out of 8 ranked teams went down, and we were able to stay away from that. It's like bear traps.
Like landmines.
Landmines, there you go. It's like landmines, and we were able to avoid it. Couldn't be prouder. Hell of a week. Looking to keep it going. Snooze You Lose podcast, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Anchor. Hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow us on Twitter, @TheBlackBookie. Hit the Instagram, @TheBlackBookie. Give us a like on Facebook, Uncle Joe. In the words of the great Billy Walters, I've had winning weeks. That's a lie, actually. He did not say that. He said I had losing weeks. I've had losing months, but I've never had a losing year. Snooze You Lose podcast. Till next time.